So there's always a silver lining to every situation.
I would say so. And I would say one of my least favorite things on the property management side, right? So the homeowner will say, Greg, we're going to be selling the property. And I say, okay, no problem. I have the tenant info, I got the deposit info, I got the keys ready for the agent to come along and say, Greg, I need this. So the agent will come along and they'll say, hey, Greg, can you tell the tenants I'll be there on Saturday at 1:30? And I say, no. That's your job.
It is their job. You're absolutely right.
Because then, if I do it, right, if I was a nice person, or if I was naive or not even had experience, I might set that up. And then the tenants will say, oh, you know, do I have to move out? Are they going to raise my rent? What time are you leaving? I have a dog. You know, like there's questions that I can't answer. So to me, that's one thing that like grinds my gears is your first opportunity to make an impression as the realtor, and you're already pawning that off on somebody else who's not even contracted to do that job.
Right.
So little stuff like that, I like, oh.
Really grinds his
My
gears.
gears get grinded. And I always handle it respectfully. I just say, you know, it's better off that you contact them. Initial point of contacts are huge, so you should make the rapport early and often, and they do.
Yeah.
But the fact that they ask me just is like, put that somewhere in your bylaws. Like, don't ask manager to do your dirty work.
Article 18.
Section E.
Leave Greg alone.
Yes.
No, in all honesty, the issue comes down to lack of training overall.
Yeah.
There's a massive influx of realtors into
Right.
the industry. We've gone up, I want to say, at least 27%.
Wow.
In terms of how many licensed realtors out
And
there.
that's 1,000 plus, right?
2,000 plus. And I don't mean to scare anybody because I've seen this in the last hot market. You know, some people come and go and others, you have newcomers that rise to the top, and you've got those at the top that end up either leaving the industry or slowing down. So it's okay. There's about 17 or 18,000 sales in Rhode Island every year. Right now, we have over 6,000 licensed realtors. So that's 2.3 properties per agent right now. So if you're selling 10 houses a year,
You're above average.
you're way above average. You're in the top 10%. And it is true. And I hate to say it, but 95% of the business is sold by 5% of the realtors. However, it's not the same realtors consistently year over year over year. There is turnover. So everyone has the opportunity to become successful in this business. You know, and the way to start that success is by not contacting Greg and having him set your appointments for you.
Put like a sparkle on my teeth.
Be proactive, be the professional. People see that. Guys like Greg will say, wow, that person knows what they're doing.
Yes.
And may even refer you to somebody else.
Yes.
And that's how you survive.
Yes. So who would you say taught you everything you know? Who is your protege, if you will, that you looked up to when you got into the business? Because a lot of realtors could benefit from a mentorship.
Yes, they can.
So who was yours, and how do you suggest folks that are just getting into the business find somebody like that?
So my very first broker was my very first mentor. And back when I started, almost 20 years ago, the internet was still at its infancy.
Gotcha.
So we had to actually physically create business. We had to when we got a listing, we went through Rolodexes to see who that listing would be good for. We'd actually call other realtors, you know, the same way realtors communicate on social media. But what happens today is you lose that actual verbal communication, okay? And it's hurting you. So his best advice for me, by the way, it was Ed Lannon with Lannon Realty. It was right next to Durfee Hardware.
I like them.
Okay,
That's
back
where
in
Don
Cranston.
worked.
Don worked at Durfee Hardware, okay? So Ed was right next door, then they built the post office and he moved a street over.
Gotcha.
And we used to drive around together and he would talk about the different aspects of real estate. But the one thing that stuck with me, and it should stick with all of you, is he said, if you think about your money first, you'll be out of this business in 2 to 3 years. If you think of it last,
You'll be here forever.
you will always have it.
Yep.
So it's very important, and I've lived by those words. Now, there's other mentors that I've had along the way. I've had tremendous brokers along the way over the years, and there's other agents, and there's bits and pieces of different realtors who've played a significant impact on my career that don't even know that. And every once in a while, I'll message one and say, you know, the way my voicemail's laid out was because I heard yours in 2006, and I loved it and I changed it. Or the reason why I went all digital and I'm paperless is because of you and a comment you made to me at a closing. So there's a culmination, multiple people that have helped me grow. But Ed Lannon, he taught me everything. He's retired now.
Is he still around?
He's retired. He lives in Cranston, and I had some great office partners too. One of them is still an active real estate agent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how about folks just getting into the business? How do they find that person? Because every broker can't be everybody's mentor.
That's right.
So what should they do? Should they team up with somebody else from the office? Should they go on YouTube and follow some know-it-all? Like, what should they do?
So there's two things you want to do. You can go on YouTube and look at all those, motivational speakers like Tom Ferry and Brian Buffini and stuff, but make sure they're not selling you on something.
Which they usually
They
are.
do. I mean, it's their business.
They have to stay in business.
Right. But what I tell people is take the motivational snippets from it and also take the free stuff, and don't fall into, you need to buy this app, you need to buy that. Because I promise you, I've been through all of them. You're not making any money through anything but referral-based business.
Relationship.
That's it. Phone calls. I call 3 past clients every single night, Monday through Friday.
Really?
I do. And I write 2 handwritten notes a day. Wow. Now, I'm giving you guys all my secrets here, but that's what you do. You're sowing the seeds and nurturing them for future growth. Okay? So motivational speakers are great to get you off the ground, but also find a brokerage firm that perhaps has a mentorship program. There's many of them in the state. Sometimes you'll find it in the larger ones. Or find a broker who's willing to take the time, or has an agent that's willing to take the time to educate you.
I'll give away one of my secrets. You mentioned that. I have an account on 1-800-Flowers and Edible Arrangements. So I buy so much from them that I have a pretty good discounted rate, and I could send a nice bouquet delivered to your doorstep in a frame, or not a frame, a vase rather, for $75.
One thing I'm going to say,
Yep.
you and I say vase. Everyone else says vase.
Ah,
So we have something in common.
there we go.
That's a great deal.
Vase doesn't sound right.
Doesn't
to
sound
me.
right to me either.
Vase.
Vase.
And
Very
East
fancy.
Greenwich, you say. You don't say East Greenwich.
I say Greenwich.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And I say wound socket. And
Wound
everyone
socket.
always says it's wound socket. I was like, it's wound socket.
I guess Emilio, my good buddy, he said wound socket is the way you say it, because I guess that's how the tribe back in the day pronounced it.
I believe
Wound
it.
socket or something like that. So,
Now you're getting into the French aspect of it.
yeah, so
Wound
a
socket.
lot of stuff going on.
One more trade secret, okay?
Yeah.
Brian Buffini always says you want to do pop buys. Get a small item of value and physically deliver it to a client. Now, I get it. Post-COVID, everyone's scared, so that may not be the best idea. So I do something just like you do. Every single week, once a week, I listen. First of all, I listen to all the conversations, and I find that one thing that somebody could use, and I actually buy it on Amazon Prime. I stick to under $25 because it's a tax write-off for a business, and I send something directly as a gift if it's available that way to my clients.
For example,
So last week, one of my particular clients, who's actually a repeat and indicated to me they were interested in selling in the next 4 years, has taken up woodworking as a hobby. Okay, so what I did was I went onto Amazon and found a beautiful woodworking apron for less than $25 and had it sent directly to him.
Pockets and stuff.
All those little pockets. He sent me a text his wife took. He's in the kitchen. I mean, a smile from here to here saying, thank you for the apron.
did you get it with his name on it? That really would have been.
That would have been over
the
the
roof.
allowable
Over the-
deductible budget.
Cool, man. And if anybody at home wants to get in touch with you to learn more, maybe to get involved, how should they do so?
So you have 2 ways. You can call or text me. It's 401-775-9288, or email me, whatever's easier. My email is easy to remember, soldinri@gmail.com.
How'd you get that email?
2006.
Wow, you could sell that.
Probably.
Sold in RI, sold in MA, like those are, to get something so condensed is rare. Like our website, Nexus,
Very rare.
we got nexri.com. It was like, nice. Everybody
Perfect.
now's website's like 30 characters.
And if you, I looked at one that was about 6 characters long, and they wanted 11,000 for it, because now it's considered a premium domain.
Yeah.
And that's not resale. It's not somebody selling
No.
it. It's literally
Buying it.
But I was lucky enough to get soldinri.com as well back then. So I benefited
Good
from
man.
that, yeah.
Nice to chat with you, Mike.
Likewise.
If you have any questions for me, throw them in the comments field below, we'll get right back to you. Once again, Greg Rice and Mike Pereira here in Woonsocket at the beautiful Sacred Heart Church.